Hello, I'm Scott Bogie here with Nico Echeverry ahead of his Fury FC 106 fight against Hunter Smith. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well, man. Thank you so much, Scott. How about you, sir?
I'm doing good. And how are you feeling about this upcoming fight?
I am feeling fantastic. The last time we spoke, I felt really good about how fight camp was going, and it's honestly about the same, if not even better. I've dialed into my diet. I'm lower in weight, so like I'm not having to cut as much, which is really good. I'm still retaining my strength. I'm having my great cardio. I'm going with very strong training partners, and I feel very confident coming into this fight. I'm feeling really, really good.
Now, it's a bit different from normal. You normally are in Texas for these fights. You're now in New Orleans. How does that feel, being able to go elsewhere?
So, you know, I've been I've been the out of town guy before. Even in Texas, if
Yeah,
you're not like local MMA, you're gonna be if you're not from that specific city, then you're probably not gonna be rooted for. So going to another state, it's about the same, but at the same time, I've never actually been to New Orleans. I fought in Louisiana, but never been to New Orleans. So
yeah.
this is gonna be a brand new experience for me personally, but I'm excited regardless.
And you are on that great winning streak. It's three fights. Now, next would be four after you get a victory here.
Mhm.
Do you feel like, I know we were speaking about it last time a little bit, but do you feel like now will be the chance where you get that title shot? I know you
You
did have that interim, there was an interim title between Sanez and that. I don't think that actually went off,
know,
but what do you think is next?
so I think Hector is going to be fight Hector Science the fighter you're talking about Hector
Yeah,
Science he's going to be fighting August I believe August 17th. I'm not too sure. I have to, or maybe it's actually the week after me. I'm not too sure, but he will be fighting for that interim belt. But if it comes to that, if I win this fight, when I win this fight, you know, I would think that it's kind of undeniable if to give me a title
yeah,
shot. If not, the call up to the UFC because it's I know like. It's a four fight win streak. I'm going against guys that are a lot younger than me. Again, and Hunter Smith is again, he's like 26, 27 or so like
yeah.
that. And again, I'm going against I'm an older guy considered for the sport. So like I can still keep up, if not, just beat down all the guys that are coming up. I'm not just this gatekeeper. I'm not just a journeyman at all. I'm still a contender. I'm still, I'm in my opinion, I'm still coming up. I'm still
Yeah.
improving. So if anything, I think I'm more than worthy to fight for that title, and I'm more than worthy to go up to the UFC if need be.
And you just need to look at the competition that you faced. You start off your winning run, you defeated two 7-2 prospects. You then get given Devin Dixon, who fought for that title. You defeat him. You're now coming up against another 5-1 prospect. So you're not even just getting favorable matchups. They are throwing you into the lion's den each fight.
Exactly. These guys, I've never been the kind of person to cherry pick fights. If someone puts a fight in front of me and I don't have injuries or
Yeah,
I'm feeling up for it, I'll take it. I'm always ready to fight. I know I don't look it, I know I don't sound like it, but honestly, this is my life and I don't like the idea of backing down from a challenge. And Hunter Smith is definitely one of those challenges. Whether, I feel like I have the advantages everywhere, but at the same time, he's game. He's a great striker. He's a decent grappler. He's explosive, and again, he's young, so he's got good cardio. But I know that with the experience that I have and the teammates that I have that are pushing me, I know that I'm going to take that victory easily.
and we kind of discussed this last time as well, but you're now getting a lot more invested in your coaching career as well. How has that been?
It's been fantastic, man. I've really taken on that role. I'm I've gone into more of a kind of more administrative now. I'm trying to get more into the business side of things. I want to be a part of that. I'm asking questions. I'm following up with Drew, my coach, about all kinds of stuff. Like, hey, did we sign the person up? Okay, have you talked to him about it yet? Hey, what are we like? How are the figures looking for right now compared to a few months ago? I'm wanting to I want to be in the know about these things so that way, I can help with this. I don't want it to be
Yeah,
just a one man show. I want it to be a part of everything with ACS, not just the coaching aspect. I want to be in the nitty gritty. I don't like dealing with numbers, but at the same point, I know I love ACS and I love what it's done for myself as well as I know it's good for everybody else, the training. And I know that if I want to see it grow, I have to be embedded in that. That has to be a part of me, not just being the coach, but being, being the business. And that's how it is. And it's kind of it's just how it is nowadays.
Yeah.
If you want to go far, if you want to, be, be not wealthy, but just be well off enough to be comfortable, raise a family and buy a house, do all those kinds of things, then it can't just be coaching, it can't just be fighting. You have to have other things that you're going for, whether it be business owner or whether it be, gym owner or you're investing in all kinds of different businesses or stocks or whatever. You have to have, those different types of avenues of cash and money. So I'm looking at that, and of course, like I said, I want to see ACS grow because I know it's good. I know that it's been good for me because I've been there 15 years, man, going on
Yeah.
16, and I want to see, and I want to inspire, and I want to help others grow into uh, someone better than myself one day. That's the goal,
And
right?
and how is it being able to find that gym where you can just stay there for like, as you say, 15 years?
Man, it's just a very I got very lucky. I found it on my so I Googled a few gyms, but I just never pulled the trigger on it, I had funny enough, I looked up Team Took, which is so Travis Took is the black
Yeah.
belt that runs it. He's the business owner. He I looked up his gym. He was the very first one I found on Google. He wasn't the very first one I found, but then eventually it's funny because now we're affiliated with him and now he gave me my black belt. So it's just funny how things kind of turned out with that. But, it just finding a ACS was just a luck of the draw. I just posted something on Facebook about an MMA fight and just saying, "Hey, here's this cool MMA fight." And I'm just like, "That's really freaking cool." And then somebody posted saying, "Yeah, that guy in that video, that one, he was supposed to fight my coach and you should probably come down to my gym." I'm just like, "Oh, well, that's a really good that's a sales pitch right there." So I went up to that gym. It was ACS, and the coach was Drew, and I instantly fell in love with the place. It had the people that was there. You know, it was a smaller gym, and it's funny now because from that time, there's only two, three, there's only four people left who still train from whenever I first started.
Yeah.
And two of them, it's me and Drew. So like I said, I just got very, very, very lucky finding that the gym for me on the first try. And the main thing for others, if you're trying to find your gym, it's just gonna be a matter of just trial and error. Just keep finding it, find the one that you vibe with the best. Like, the coaches, the students, everything. You got to make sure that you have all those check boxes down because if not, eventually it's going to get to a point to where you start to resent it and it's bad. When you start to resent the gym that you train at, eventually your resentment grows to the sport and the martial arts. And that's not a good thing. Now, mind you, some people have some bad experiences with that, with the martial arts, maybe they have a bad injury or something like that. But at the same time, I know that martial arts has done more good than bad, in my opinion, anyways.
And with your division itself in the UFC, it's now in that new era. The new champion got crowned, Ilya. What did you make of his movement up as well as his performance on the weekend?
That was I'm not gonna say near flawless. That was a flawless execution, man. That was beautiful. Ilya he's just that dang good. He's that guy. He takes out he takes down Josh Emmett, a pound like
Yeah,
goes 5 rounds with him and just I think they said it's like one of the only like 10-7 rounds they ever recorded in the UFC,
yeah,
which is a 10 there's very few 10 there's not a lot of 10-8s, but there's maybe like two or three 10-7s, and that includes Ilya's with Josh Emmett, and that's wild to me. And the fact that he was able to beat like two legends that are pretty, I'm not talking like people that are past their prime because they are not. But he beat two legends, knocked them out handily with Max Holloway and Volkanovski. That's the guy is just so darn good. And getting that title, moving up to 155, and then taking out Oliveira, former champion, and definitely was in the running to get another get another title shot. He was well, actually, he was going to get that title, but the fact that he was able to beat him just like within, what was it, 2 minutes or
Yeah.
so, in the first round. And it just shows that the guy is just a part of that new wave of fighters coming up. Like it's kind of the like with Magdalena, Jack Magdalena, him beating Bilal. This newer breed is coming up, and it's really cool to see. But yeah, Ilya is just he's just on another level, man. It's just awesome to watch.
And then you also have to remember, like you're saying, the 10-7 against Emmett. Everyone's kind of classing Emmett out after that fight, going, oh, he's just been absolutely destroyed. That's him done. He has came back and got that win. But I think we now see how much power Ilya has. It kind of now gets a lot less criticism with that fight.
Oh gosh, yes. I mean, I don't think I see that, it kind of like it helps raise Emmett's stock,
Yeah,
honestly. It like you said, people don't give like if people should give Emmett his flowers. The guy is tough. He's wicked strong.
yeah,
He has so much power. He's a good wrestler too. And like, if people are kind of like looking over him because of, if his fight with Topuria, then I feel like that just shows that people aren't very observant, and they don't really like take into consideration like other people's skill sets. But I think that like the fact that he was able to go all 5 rounds whenever, like, for his last 3 fights, Ilya's been taking people out in the first round or like within the first few rounds. It's I think it's gonna really help out with Emmett's overall, like I said, his stock in the sport. And which is I think is gonna be really fun to see how the 145 division is gonna be shaking up now that Ilya's gone up to 55. So honestly, I'm excited to see what happens if Islam comes back down to 55 to fight Topuria, which will be a really fun fight to watch.
well, a fight that I'm looking to see even more than Ilya versus Islam probably going to happen December of next year. Ilya versus Nico. When we get in that fight,
Oh man, don't start. Don't flatter me like that. Don't flatter me like that, man. I would love for that to happen, but don't flatter me. Hey, if it happens, man, it happens. I would love to get my run in the UFC. If it leads to a title, that would be awesome. But man, my like it was my goal whenever I was a kid. Like I think I had the message saved whenever I first talked to Drew online. It was after like training there for a week, and like he was asking me like what my goals were, and I remember telling him I want to fight for the UFC. I want to be the UFC lightweight champion. I like if but goals change, but if that could happen, if I could fight for the belt, if I could fight in the UFC, then honestly, I think that if I were to go back in time and I met 19-year-old Nico, whenever he sends that message, if I can tell him, hey man, you know, you might like if I could tell him, hey, you won the championship, think he would be ecstatic. If I even tell him, hey man, you went pro and you've won a belt, and hey, you've had opportunities. You might have missed it, but at the same time, you got to do what you love. At the
yeah.
same time, I think that 19-year-old Nico would be pretty damn ecstatic about all the same, because really, I've done a lot with this sport. I mean, I think I've with even with Fury, I'll be at fight number 19 or 20 under the Fury banner, which will mean I fought the most. I'm the most. I've
19,
fought the most
well,
under Fury, period, out of all their
21, I think
fighters.
this is.
Yes. So, I think that it'll be a lot of fun though if I could get my hands on a UFC contract and fight up my way to that number one contendership. That'll be a lot of fun, man.
And what do you make of like the patches now that are on the UFC debuts? So in your first fight, you get that patch on your shorts that says UFC debut.
Man, that would be I don't know, man. It would be so surreal. I've been talking to uh Carlos Enrique. He won the
Yeah,
lightweight UFC BJJ belt. And they was telling me about how weird it was just having people wait on you hand and foot. And honestly, I think that like the UFC patch on the shorts would be really cool, but everything before that would throw me for a loop, because having someone wait on you, like, I was told that he was going to go throw away his trash. They had people for that. They had people taking his trash and be like, I'll take care of that. And it's just like, I don't know what to do now. I'm supposed to be responsible. I don't want to be. It's just a very strange feeling. But just if I can get, having that UFC patch on the shorts would be a big feather in my cap, regardless if it's contender series or just fighting on an actual UFC card. It would be something that I would hold near and dear to my heart for the rest of my life.
Now the question is, if you do get that call up, are you going to have to change that nickname? The Machine is currently your nickname, but it is also the nickname of Merab. Would you change it?
I've thought about that. I really have. I would say so. There's gonna be two ways that we can solve this, and I think that one of the ways I know I'm going to lose. So the first way is going to be arm wrestling, not bull wrestling. We're just arm wrestling. We're just going to arm wrestle for it. Okay, just make it quick, clean and simple. Or two, dance battle. And I'm pretty sure you've seen Marab dance. The man has moves. My moves include the twist and the Carlton from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's all I have. And I'm pretty sure he has me beat on that.
Well, or you have got £20 advantage, get in in the octagon. Have to all
Oh,
advantage you can get.
I mean, if I'll use, man, I've learned that, people say it's not about the size. It's not about the size of the dog, it's about the heart. I'm just like, man, you don't know what it's like having a man who's like 60 pounds heavier on top of you, dude. It's totally different, man. It's not the same.
Try telling that to the flyweight going up against the heavyweight just now.
Oh,
Just say, as long as you have heart, you can win that.
yeah, I think so. I mean, shoot, I've seen there's a video of Brian Shaw, a strongman, like world champion strongman with Dustin Poirier, like just rolling around, and it's like Brian is just able to just like palm him and just stand up. The guy's like 7'2" and like 400 pounds, and Dustin's like my size. Just like, yeah, sometimes size does matter. People highly underestimate that.
Well, there's also a video here from one of the world's strongest men from our country, and he was facing two people who are flyweights, and he just dismantled them both in the first round.
Yes, I saw that with Eddie Hall. That's
Yeah.
so it looked like something out of a cartoon. Just boom, just sends the guy flying. I was like, Jesus. God, like the guys are like, and the thing is that they're like 250 probably like combined, and that's like almost like a little bit more than half his weight. And
Yeah.
that's just perplexing to me, which is just crazy. But yeah,
So
like it's just nuts. But yeah, again, if I could just if I could just get a hold of Merab, if we were to wrestle for it, if I could just get a hold of him and just hold him down, I think I could take the name Machine. We'll have to see for it though. I'll have to ask him and see if it's okay though.
now I'm going to make sure that you lose this fight. Dana, we're going to have a UFC 221 main event Nico versus Merab dance battle. We're putting that in there. I'm making you in a disadvantage.
I oh gosh, look, if we can do it like the chess boxing, if we could dance for like a minute and then we could just wrestle for a minute, that would be great. I'd be fine with that. But man, if it's dance battle, gosh, he will literally run circles around me with that. It's just gonna be oh, that would be so bad. But I'd be down for it. I would 100% be down. Like I said, I don't back down from a challenge. I won't back down from that.
Now, what are you doing to celebrate this win?
So after this win, right after this win, I'm planning to do since I've been to Louisiana. I've been to Louisiana like maybe
Yeah.
twice. Once for a bachelor party and twice and again for a fight. If I'm gonna be there, of course I'm gonna be right afterwards. I already have my list. Gumbo, etouffee, and then I'm going to Cafe Du Monde and I'm getting a ton of beignets because I want a fresh, like legitimate beignet. I don't want nothing from Texas. No offense, Texas, but I want from New Orleans a beignet, multiple, and I'm just gonna stuff myself. And after that, Waffle House, I'm going to pass out, and then the next day I'm going back home because it's going to be wild in New Orleans with Holloway and Poirier 3 going down that night.
Yeah.
And regardless of what happens, if Holloway wins, they riot. If Poirier wins, they riot. And I want to be far away from that.
And did you hear what Holly said earlier? I think it was like either early on this week or last week about the Dustin fight. He's like, he's
No, I did
taken
not.
my win streak. He's taken my O. I'm going to take his retirement.
You know, I love it. I love that fire in Holloway. You know, he's never gonna give up. Like especially like whether it be whenever he had this trilogy with Volkanovski and now with his trilogy with the Poya, I think that's gonna be a whole lot of fun. I think I think it's a great mindset to have. You know, just he's like you said, he's never gonna quit. He's never gonna back down from a challenge. I think this is gonna be a really fun fight to watch. I mean, of course, I'm gonna be at home watching it, but still, it's gonna be a whole lot of fun, man.
And I was going to talk, you have kind of mentioned that before, the Waffle House. Have you been able to find your place yet, or are you taking recommendations from the people watching?
Nope, nobody has given me a recommendation yet. All they said is like they just told me, Nico, wait to eat all that Cajun food until after your fight because you're gonna get bloated because of all that
Yeah.
sodium. I'm just like, all right, I'll do that. I will listen to that. So I haven't taken recommendations of places, but if anybody has a recommendation, I will happily take them. I am always open to try something new. So please send me recommendations. Anybody.
How was the waffle trip after the last fight?
Oh, so good. Next, I went to Waffle House. There's a Voodoo Donuts next door. Got my Waffle House stuffed to my face. After that, I went to Voodoo Donuts and I just got tons of stuff, like a maple bacon donut, and I just shoved that down my throat, and it just was carbs on carbs on carbs as usual, and it was perfect. It was just picture perfect for me. So it was a good time, a real good time.
And it's been announced that I think Donald Trump announced that it's going to be fights at the White House. How would you like to be on a card like that?
Oh gosh, that I don't know, man. That the you said a fight at the White House?
Yes.
Oh Jesus. Oh no. Oh gosh, that's gonna I don't know how I feel about that. You know, I'll have Drew I'll work on the logistics for that. That's a whole can of worms I don't want to deal with. No, I'm good. But if it happens, it happens. That'll be pretty fun. But at the same time, just a lot of security, a whole lot of security checks. I think I might pass up on that. For if it's me, if you're asking me personally, but if someone says, "Hey, Nico, big money, fight at the White House," I guess, sure.
Why not do the Merab dance battle there?
Yeah. Okay, if it's the Rob dance battle, I'll do it right then and there, easily.
And what is it about this sport that keeps just inspiring you to just keep going on and on and on?
You know, after the last fight, I actually talked to Drew and I told him, I told him before I walked out, I said, actually, no, I told him after the fight, I said, hey, Drew, I think this is my last one. Like this was after the fight. And I did like he's like, okay, Nico, I respect it. And they said, but I want you to take some time. I want you to take some time and think, and I want you to relax. Like I'm not going to push you to go either way. If this is your last fight, you got that performance you wanted, perfect. If you want more, then just tell me. You know, people's hearts and minds change. And if it's something that you want to do and you want to keep going with, then by all means, man, I'll back you 100%. If you want to retire, I'll back you 100%. And it took me about like a couple weeks. I just kept saying, yeah, I think I'm done. But then Drew brought up, hey Nico, fight going on, Louisiana. How do you feel about that? And something just kind of sparked in me. I was like, I'm one of the older guys, and I just feel like I have so much more to give. And after the last fight, I was working on new things. I'm still learning new things. I'm not
Yeah.
stagnating. I'm not just sticking with the same like formula. Like I'm doing better with not just my training, but I'm getting better with my diet and my weight cut. And I'm still developing as a fighter. And the fact that I'm still developing I think is just what keeps on driving me to keep going. If I feel that I'm still growing, if I feel that I'm still getting better, and I know you're going to hear this from so many fighters, regardless, like, as they get older, they're like, yeah, I'm the strongest I've ever been. Yeah, I'm the best I've ever been. Just to kind of hype themselves up or just to kind of have it as a sound bite. But I truly believe that where I'm at right now is again, cliche, I'm the best that I've ever been. Not the best that I will be, but the best that I've ever been. And it's only going to be like that until, and if once I start seeing that, okay, even if it's after win, I feel like, I think I might be done because of, maybe I just feel like I'm stagnating. Maybe I'm just getting more injuries during practice, or maybe
Yeah.
my heart's not in it. I know that I know I'll be able to say, I think I'm done. because I've done I feel like I've not even feel I know I've done a lot with this sport as a competitor, but I've talked to my therapist and he's mentioned to me, Nico, one thing that I can tell you is I can count on my hands how many times you've talked about being a fighter, but in my notes I am finding it hard to count how many times you've talked about how much you love coaching. So, you know, it kind of shows that I might like my mind and where my heart is with my students, but where I still have that competitive spirit and I'm going to keep going until not until the competitive spirit dies, but until I feel like I'm satisfied. And right now I'm not satisfied because it's not a matter of like, oh, I can do better. But no, it's just a matter of how far can I go? I think I can go a little bit farther. I think I can do a little bit better. I want to keep going. I want to have some fun. And that's where I'm at right now.
And make sure you guys tune in to Fury 106, where you can see Nico have that fun and get that victory. Is there anyone you want to shout out or anything else you wanting to add?
Yes, I'd like to shout out, everybody at ACS MMA, my coaches and my teammates. Appreciate all you guys. I'd also like to shout out Damon Orande and Carlos Enrique and Felipe Hocha, Orande from Orande Brothers BJJ and Felipe Hocha of Artistry. They've been big assets for me as far as getting ready for this fight, as well as my sponsors, Just Dogs, Top Dog Fighting, uh, Integrated Machinery, and as well as Campbell's Towing. I can't thank you guys enough for supporting me and for being there to push me and to make sure that I'm well taken care of for this fight camp. And to all my fans, my friends, my family for constantly supporting me. And, it's for everybody out there that's watching this and just tuning in. I appreciate you guys. So thank you all. Love y'all.
And remember to send in your recommendations for that Waffle House in New Orleans, and Nico will check it out.
Please.
Thank you very much.